And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I am your host, Sherard, live on location in Hollywood, having a wonderful, wonderful time talking about the ugly truth about the modeling industry. We have two very beautiful individuals to my right. One, I'm so proud of both of them because they're doing big, big things, and they're my people. They're my persuasion. But they're doing some wonderful things in the industry. One gentleman just got his show picked up by BET, Beauty and the Ballers. He's a celebrity chef. And then this wonderful young lady to my right, she is not only a spokesperson for Flair Live, but she's also doing some big things in the industry, working with a lot of different people, putting on fashion shows. And she has a delightful smile and wonderful personality. She stopped by the show today. So first of all, welcome, Lisa Bennett. How are you?
Hi, Sherard. Thank you so much for having me. We're really excited about being here.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. And then the gentleman and the scholar to the far right, Mr. Charles Reese. How are you, sir?
I'm good. The gentleman and the scholar, I say thank you very much.
I appreciate him coming in. He came in on his bicycle, ladies and gentlemen,
That's right.
all the way to get here on the show. So let's kick it off right first with you, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing great, Like, I was full transparency because I'm kind of wacky, but I was like playing with eyelashes. So this is like my second time wearing lashes in like 10 years.
Oh, no.
So it's like, I'm trying to get used to lashes.
she's batting the lashes.
So I'm crazy like that. La, 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 la. Since we're talking about fashion, because one of the things, spending time with all those Ebony Fashion Fair models, they were tall and they were gorgeous and they all had these gorgeous lashes. So they really inspired me to, like, sometimes you have to change your aesthetic when you're inspired by people.
And that's great to hear. Now, you just recently did a fashion event here in L.A. It was July 22nd or 23rd?
July 21st and 22nd. It was a 2-day fashion extravaganza put on by Flair Inc. And basically it's an organization where all the former Ebony Fashion Fair models get together, or they have created an organization that helps to recognize up-and-coming fashion designers as well as prominent fashion designers, but also giving out scholarships for the next generation of people of color in fashion. So it was very exciting. We honored Linda Stokes, Kevin Hall showcase, and put on a great show. And like I said, it was just so fabulous. There's like thousands. The Ebony Fashion Show started in 1951 with Eunice Johnson of...
She was there, right?
No.
I know Eunice. She passed away.
Yeah, she passed
80,
away.
Yeah, she passed away.
She passed away 2009, and that was the last year that the fashion show happened. It traveled from 1951 to 2009.
Is that right? Wow.
Yes.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's some phenomenal stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk more about that because we're talking about the fashion industry as well as the ugly truth. But now you see African Americans just really getting a lot of playtime, and it's well deserved.
Absolutely.
And speaking of well-deserved, this gentleman to my right, as I mentioned, he has a new show coming out. Let's get a shot of this flyer.
I look like somebody I know.
Beauty and the Baller, and he's a celebrity chef. Charles, let's talk about how excited are you, first of all?
Charles, you're now a celebrity chef.
I didn't know that.
Because I've been promoting you. I'm telling everybody.
Okay, I'm a celebrity chef that plays a chef on television.
Yeah. He's not a real chef.
You don't cook.
No. But I can cook.
Okay.
That was the last episode called I Can Cook.
Yeah.
So that's a nice segue into the fact. So the whole thing about this particular show called Beauty and Ball, it's about a basketball couple, a young couple in love with each other. And I'm actually the chef for them who watches after them, makes sure that they eat well. I'm also the uncle to the lead actress.
Gotcha.
And we have all these shenanigans. So I do cook all the time on the show and just did this last episode. But I just want to segue to something that's very important. One of the Ebony Fashion Fair people is Judy Pace.
Yes.
And
we honored her.
Actually on this show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. It's great you say that because she was talking about this show when she was a guest on my show about 2 months ago, Judy Pace. And she was talking about the show and she was mentioning you. So it's funny.
She's the mother-in-law.
So it's awesome that we have you on the show because you got to check my episode. This is the month of August. She was on the show in June.
Okay.
Her and Frida Payne.
Those two together.
It just goes to show how small the world is, in terms of how we connect and interconnect and all that good stuff. So, when I first came to LA, I've been in LA 16 years, and a wonderful Jewish man pulled me aside and he gave me 2 bits of advice.
And what was that?
And one bit of advice that has proven to be true 1,000 times is, don't piss off anyone accidentally.
Oh, now that's the second one.
Say that one more time. Yeah,
say it in the mic.
Say it one more time, because go ahead.
So, a piece of advice that I received from this Jewish gentleman when I was having a business meeting with him, and he was kind of giving me the lay of the land, and one of the things that he said was, don't piss off someone accidentally.
Wow.
You can piss someone else, but know you're pissing someone off. But never piss off someone accidentally.
Very, very wise words.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, Charles, with your show, now it comes on BET. It's Saturdays, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and 7 Pacific. Now, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you do on set as a chef.
One of the biggest things I do is that I hold court in my kitchen. So everything that comes, all our fun things kind of sort of happen in the kitchen. Like we cook food. We try to cook some wholesome things. But in the last episode that just aired, it was about the lead actress. Her name is D'Angelo Lau. She plays Dina. She was trying to cook for Judy Pace's character, because Judy Pace's character, her name is they simply call her Mother Dolores. She wanted her daughter to marry a Southern woman. And so, since this girl is not a Southern girl, she comes to me and goes, let's find a way for me to cook some Southern food. So I'm actually teaching her how to cook a good soul food meal for her mother.
Really? Really? Now, we've all had some great soul food in Nigeria.
Oh, I'm from the South, so I know how to throw it down.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from?
I'm below the Mason-Dixon line, Washington, D.C.
So what's the definition of soul food in D.C.?
The definition of soul food in D.C., you have to realize that when I grew up in D.C., we had chickens in our backyard. So we went to pick up our chickens, and we actually would get the chicken from the backyard.
Really?
Yes, we did.
Wow.
As quiet as it's got. They sent us down south to learn how to do it. So we used to go to Maxton, North Carolina every summer. But, we had chickens in the backyard. We grew some greens in the backyard. We were always having some good collard greens mixed with a little kale. Is always good. My mother was good for dropping, because we didn't like okra. This is how I learned to like okra. She would drop the okra on top of the greens.
Wow. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm starting to get hungry. I'm starting to get hungry right here. This man is killing it.
Some good old...
Yeah.
From good old fried chicken. She had a nice little batter she do. Now, the guys in our house had to learn how to cook anyway, so we were responsible for cooking a meal at least one Sunday out of a month.
That's good. I learned how to cook later in life.
Really?
Yeah, I was always picked on as being a Thelma from Good Times that could never cook. The only thing I could cook.
Now, Thelma burnt stuff. Now, JJ always tells me
I didn't burn anything, but the only thing I could cook growing up was spaghetti. And so, I was always picked on. But, when I went off to college, my college roommate was from Eatonton, North Carolina, and she really taught me about cooking with fresh foods and everything. And from there it started. But now I can burn. I have parties and people come over.
Now she said she could burn now.
I can burn it. I can burn it.
Now let's talk about something that's about our topic that we're talking about today. And first of all, for those who've just joined us, this gentleman here is our celebrity chef, Charles Reese. His new television show just is airing on BET. You don't want to miss it. It's Saturdays, 7 Pacific, 9 Central, and 10 o'clock Eastern time. And then we have the lovely Willisa Bennett, who's here as well. She's doing big things. Now, let's talk about the industry now. You got here 16 years ago.
16 years ago.
Okay, now 16 years ago was 2001, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the industry of the fashion in 2001, what was it like for an African American in 2001?
Well, I think the industry basically is the way it is now. I mean, it's still very little diversity. And when I talk about diversity, not only am I talking about color and people of color, but also sizes. I had to do an assignment back in the mid 2000s where I went to Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, and I was really surprised to see the lack of people of color that was part of Bryant fashion, fashion show, and Bryant Park, the tents, because New York Fashion Week, they have the big white tents in Bryant Park,
exactly,
and it's a wonderful presentation. but I didn't see a lot of people of color.
You know, and that's interesting you say that, because African Americans make up about more than 50% of the buyers out there of the apparel that you wear and the styles. And most nations, they get their styles off of what African Americans
Well,
wear.
yeah, I mean, definitely there is, you know, black culture is being ripped off daily. You know, black cultural appropriation, you know, is the correct term. And it's basically when we do something or we create a style, we may see it as, the mainstream may see it as ghetto and make stereotypical or racist comments about a style we create. But when the mainstream or the white or the privileged take the style and it be deemed fashionable or edgy or cool, then that's when we have a case of cultural
Very interesting.
appropriation.
Very interesting
Yes.
to say that. Now, Charles, I'll throw this question to you. Now, being a chef, being an African American chef,
He plays one on TV.
That's what I'm speaking about. Being one on television.
You're starting to convince me.
Well,
But I do cook. I'm with you.
yeah, you with me?
I'm speaking as Jaleel Baldwin.
Okay, he's in character now.
I'm with you.
He's in character.
Now, Charles, before you became an actor, as a chef, a celebrity chef, what were you doing prior?
I was acting.
You were acting.
Okay, so let me
So,
tell you
let
something
me go
about
back.
Chet, and then he's going to chime in. What you don't know is Charles, before he landed this breakout role on television, he's a thespian, and he is an authoritative on James Baldwin.
Is that right?
Yes, he was the originator of James Baldwin in the play A Soul on Fire, and then he was also the co-writer of the book adaptation of that play. And so he just got back from London. He's been traveling around the country talking about James Baldwin. And so now I take it there because he's really a social, he's also a social commentary
He's an author,
person, an author,
and a comedian, and a bus driver, and a hitman. No, I'm joking.
and a partridge, and a pear tree.
I love it. I love it.
We should go
ladies-
on the road with that.
Yes, exactly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come up for some air, and then after we come back, we're going to have more about this gentleman in the scholar. I knew I had it right,
Yes.
as well as the lovely Willisa Bennett when we come back right after this.